Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships for our, what is today going to be a naughty or nice video, part 6, or episode 6, I should say, in this series. Please let me know in the comments if you're liking the not having the intro at the beginning. I'll probably do a poll on the community tab maybe later today or tomorrow if I remember to. Just want to test that out, and I've gotten a mixed reaction, like both good and bad, so we'll have to see ultimately what wins out here. So if you're new to this series on Naughty or Nice, basically what happens is we go into combat and we have a battle where maybe there's a lot of nice community in the chat, good interaction even with enemy team, or we have nice, or naughty, excuse me, where you have a lot of aggro and people unhappy, which probably more common in World of Warships to have the naughty in chat and teams, non-team spirit at times, if you will. And then other times you could have a mix of both, where you have both of the naughty and nice at play. So it's you to decide, and as we land, and I'll kind of give you the answer when the time comes, of which of the three is it. So, in this battle, we are in the Pan-American battleship, the mid-range brawling battleship, the Libertad. And I quite like the ship. It's really powerful. They nerfed the tier 9 and tier 8. Honestly, they probably should have also nerfed the tier 10, but they have not at this point in time. Because it has an insanely strong rudder shift and built-in propulsion. In the meantime, we take some shots on the Oregon, and we have our first victim here, the Shimakaze, who's been caught out by our CV and also Doom pushing in close here. And we pick up the close quarters in first blood, so that's great. We did go broadside to turn away, because if Shimakaze got torps off, he is at the angle to get torps off, decide that it's not worth it to be there. There's also an Utrecht that's up on Bravo, so I'm going to kind of push more around the flank. I don't really want to deal with airstrikes. Even though Utrecht cannot pin our 51mm deck, it's still a fire hazard for us. So we're just not going to deal with that, and the Petro has already been dealing with it. So we're going to push back and around this island and come on in. So having the destroyer eliminate on this flank helps a lot. This is a match where we also have, in addition to the Dutch airstrike, we have a CV. You can see the enemy CVs. Actually, he was flying around the southeast end of the map. I'm guessing maybe he's perhaps was going for our CV. You see him there. Maybe he's going to come in on us. I don't remember. And then there's also a double submarine. So there's a lot of cancer happening here in this battle. And the CV, actually, he drops fighters on us, he smokes us up, so he's actually been quite nice. So this is helpful, maybe not necessarily needed at this point in time. It probably would have been maybe better to use on the Shimakaze and the Balau, but hey, it is what it is. And the Montana gets rid of the Utrecht, who had just kind of wasn't being very good at avoiding incoming salvos when he was having himself revealed. So our CV is taking on fights with the enemy CV at this point in time. So what we're going to do here, so far things are looking well for us as a team. We're going to utilize our tankiness and just push in and taking the sea cap. And that's when we have the submarine. So on the Libertad, if you take the damage control party mod 1, I believe it says, what is it, special upgrade, we can have a really long lasting damage control party, which actually lasts over 30 seconds for us. I think it's like 31, 32, something like that. So that makes it easier for us to kind of cross these large openings here without being constantly harassed and pinged. Because I know I'm going to get closer up on the island here. We've already got a flood. We've had one depth charge hit, and now we've had another sub or another depth charge hit, another flooding, and it looks like we are getting flooding damage in on the submarine, which is great. And we kind of just keep dropping the same spot, and he just keeps eating depth charges. Now we have 11-kilometer depth charge airstrike on the Libertad, and if you get a direct hit, you'll manage to do 4,900 hit points. And I think this sub has like 19,850 hit points or something. I don't fully remember. Now, as a result of utilizing our DCP to kind of get rid of those pings on us, we are going to eat a fire. You see the oil slick. Another 2 depth charge hits, incapacitations, and a fire. So I kind of more teasingly telling the submarine, like, you know, you should probably consider moving. Because he is taking lots of strikes from us, and we've dealt most, I think, the damage in this game maybe has already been to the submarine. And if you looked in, well, I guess you didn't see it at the start of this battle because we were already moving and sailing. The submarine that we have been dropping is in a division with the enemy carrier. That's right, there's a Cancer division on the enemy team. And now, after doing a good amount of damage to the submarine, guess who shows up to start striking us? Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe the enemy CV won't come for us again, but we'll have to see. So we pushed their organ off, which is great. The enemy team just effectively lost map control at this point, so there's no need for me to keep pushing and chasing. So we're just going to back off here and take some cover with this island. We also have to be mindful of our broadside, as there's a little bit of action happening there in the middle of Bravo, as I think it's the big Bourgogne is also utilizing his high explosive on us. And would you look, it looks like the CV's come back for us. Yes, there's a little bit of naughtiness happening in this battle so far. But he is, you know, going up and around, and Vigalo goes ahead and smokes up, so that's not going to work out. He does drop fighters on our Italian destroyer friend, and I fired just as I realized that our CV dropped smoke on me again. I think we have an Essex on our team. So that was incredibly nice of him. Unfortunately, I kind of screwed up because I didn't realize he was going to do that, and I fired my main battery guns, which forces us to have to move here to try to avoid torpedoes, and we're going to take 2. It's going to get slow, but then there's the submarine that we're still hunting. Was it the U-2501? Try to see which way is he going to go. We'll drop a strike that way, and we're going to eat some more torps here. 2 more brings us down to 8,000 hit points. And try to see if we get lucky, and it looks like, no, we did get a flooding on the submarine. So he's, did he DCP? It looks like he had a DCP ready. So it's going to be very important for us to like get this last strike in, which he's just over 9 kilometers away. So, and RCV is actually spotting their submarine, which is also incredibly helpful. So there's actually, I would say with what we have happening here, is we have a combination of the naughty and nice. So, who knew? And we get rid of the enemy submarine, which much to satisfaction. We've taken a lot of damage for this ultimately, which sucks, but we killed the submarine as our GK takes out the enemy Shimakaze. Our CV is also dropping fighters on us, which is incredibly helpful. Midway coming back in here, we're going to turn the A back on, and I just let the CV know that their CV is focusing me ultimately. Because of killing his division mate. So let's see. No, he misses that, and the fighter is intercepted. So it's really nice when you have a CV player. As much as I probably crap on CVs in this game, when you do have CV players who are team oriented, it's actually pretty incredible. I'm really grateful when that does happen. When you have CV players that just kind of ignore the team, or just they don't always know necessarily what they're doing. So he keeps dropping fighters. So like that was very like charitable. Like maybe help replace some of the ill feelings I have towards CVs in general in the game. I don't know. You decide. But we're gonna be able to get more heals off here, and we're just kind of reversing back out here to see if there's something further we can't do. As we have the Bourgogne, who was setting us on fire quite a lot earlier. We're gonna go ahead and unleash our 419mm guns for his broadside, with our secondaries chiming in just at the same time the enemy Petropavlovsk, who got focused by the Dutch strikes earlier, nabs to kill. So that's all good and said and done. So I'm really grateful that this boat does have an 11-kilometer depth charge airstrike, because otherwise it would be quite painful. We get a second grade with the General Offensive, First Blood in close quarters on the Shimakaze from earlier in the game with 5 floodings. It's It's kind of weird to see floodings with the battleship and 7 depth charge strikes in total. I don't remember if U-2501 actually gets a heal or not. Yeah, I don't remember. But we end up doing a lot of damage to him, as you'll see on the detailed report. But all that said and done, it was definitely a wash for the enemy team. Like, it kind of sucks when that happens. But we did place second because of the plane kills and pretty much taking all of the submarines' hit points, which you'll see here on the next screen. In the detailed report, we did ultimately 19,850 hit points. When I saw him in the game before he went under, he had 19,850 hit points. So I think we took him for all. We took 121,000 damage. But I don't necessarily mind when an enemy CV tries focusing me, because it's like I just rather a CV focus me than my teammates. Let my teammates try to get some more plays and some more action in, and not too worried, especially in the Libertad when you have that 51mm deck plating. Then it's more difficult for some CVs to deal with you. Granted, the armor-piercing dive bombs will just wreck you. I got wrecked by a Richtofen. I think the same day as these games, in another battle, I lost like 21,000 hit points from a Richtofen, and I could only heal like 1,000 hit points back. So that is episode 6 for today's Naughty or Nice. I hope you enjoyed it. Not the common one where we see stuff happening in chat, maybe besides me kind of, you know, if you're going to be a submarine, don't just sit still. Like, you're meant to move. Kind of comment there. And ultimately, they both didn't like it. But we had a helpful CV player on our team, so hats off to him, and I did compliment him, I'm pretty sure, this game. So if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to my patron supporters. Until next time, take care.